Hi. You're going to have to welcome the noise of the road and the poor camera quality, but I think it's worth it because I've got an important message. I lost my good phone, and so I had to buy a cheap, old, second-hand phone. It's okay. So, craving, what the Buddha taught, is the obstacle that we face that leads to what he defined as his first teaching, which was dukkha, life is suffering. So the reason we suffer as human beings, the reason you're watching this video now, is because there's an unsatisfactoriness about your experience right now, and you know there's more. Deep down, something within you knows that there's something better. So craving is the cause of this suffering. What makes craving craving? What makes craving craving is that it ends at some point and then starts again. That's what makes it craving. So you crave for some object in your experience, not just physical objects, but objects of the mind. This is what we call thought objects. We crave for an object to be fulfilled, and the essential essence of what makes this craving is that it will be fulfilled, but it won't last. So when you fulfill your craving, which happens on a continual basis, you fulfill your craving, you experience liberation. You experience liberation. That's the truth. You experience liberation when you attain the object of your craving, whatever that may be. You experience liberation, even if it's just scrolling on the phone, on social media. It's like, all right, I'm craving to scroll some more because I want to see something that's going to stimulate me. I want to see something that's really going to stimulate me, even more than before. This is the search for liberation. And guess what? You get liberated. You do. You do. It liberates you. But it only liberates you temporarily. This is what makes craving. Otherwise, if it wasn't temporary liberation, if it lasted, if it actually liberated you fully, permanently, properly, then it would just be called liberation. It wouldn't be called craving, and the Buddha would have never spoken about it, and we wouldn't suffer. But we do, because we haven't looked at the fact that, yes, we haven't slowed things down enough yet. We haven't slowed things down enough yet and looked at this and said, oh wow, it does liberate me, and recognized it does liberate me. Yes, it does. I do feel liberated. It's so good. It's so good. I mean, think of just one example that's, I can think of one example that's universally human, that is so good. There's many, but the sexual craving, how good is that? How good does that feel when you're in the actually fulfilling that craving? Wow, it's like absolute bliss. It's like nirvana. You have no other thought. You're just there doing that. Wow, incredible. Why don't we just do that all the time? Because it has a downside. And it's exactly the same downside as every other craving. Every other craving is the same downside. It's a universal trait. It won't last. It doesn't last. It doesn't actually liberate you in the way that your mind thinks it does. Your mind tricks you. It tricks itself There's a trick at play. Your mind tricks you into saying, it says, hey, this is liberation. We're going to go for it. Go for the drink, go for the party, go for the smoke, go for the sex, go for the dessert. Dessert before dinner, dessert before breakfast, dessert before lunch. Because we're going to be liberated. But over time we realize, oh, I best stop having dessert before breakfast, because wisdom starts to seep in, starts to take over, slowly, 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 so slowly. Like, we all know that it's not good to have dessert before breakfast. we know that's the case, but we just haven't extended it even further into all of our experience. Because it's a social norm not to have dessert before every meal. It's like, okay, all right, we kind of accept as a collective, as a tribe, that this isn't viable for my fulfillment. I won't be fulfilled. So it's a social norm. So we find it easy to drop that one, the dessert, constant dessert. Some people don't, which is sad. It's the same as all of us, though. We're all in a sad situation of addiction, really, as a race. It's an addiction race, and it's the one thing that's stopping us. And the one thing that the top down will implement is addiction structures. And I know that seems a little bit, oh wow, he's getting all conspiracy theorist on us, but it's actually just the truth. The culture benefits from addiction because we will keep consuming if we're addicted, right? Because we can't just not buy things anymore, because we have this addiction mechanism in play in our minds and in our bodies. So it's a really, really good thing. Why wouldn't they purposefully and subtly poison a whole race in this way? Why wouldn't they, if they make a continual stream of on a high level of income, a really high level of income? So what's the antidote for this? I said earlier, you haven't slowed it down yet and thought, wow, that's really slowing it down, isn't it? This does liberate me. Yeah, it does. And even when you're doing these things, like actually recognizing, wow, I feel really good right now. Really good. I feel totally no problem at all. Liberated, I feel really good. And then, okay, what is it about this then? Why don't we do this all the time? And then witness how afterwards you, let's say just smoking, for instance, smoking a cigarette. I used to smoke. It feels really good. Feels really good. Okay, I feel really good right now. Conscious, I feel really good right now. Liberated. Ram Dass talks about this. Don't just drop your addictions. Bring consciousness to them. Keep growing consciousness, and this is the antidote. Keep growing consciousness. Evolve your practice, and then you will have more space, more power. Space and power are synonymous. In your experience, you won't get lost in a cigarette. just smoking away, or taking drags of the cigarette without even noticing that you've taken one. That's when you're lost in it. But over time, you evolve your practice. Over time, you become conscious of each drag you take, and then you have the ability to contemplate the scenario you find yourself in. And then you can say, hey, I'm liberated right now. Why don't I just do this all the time then? I feel so good. I feel no problem at all. And then observe as soon as it's finished. It's increased my craving mechanism. I need more now. I can't be at peace without it. Wow, this is a powerful observation. This will surely start to break down your addiction. Surely. Given time, but not even too much time if you become properly conscious. So you need to build your connection to this moment. When you sit down, you close your eyes, you focus on the direct experience. Because the addictions, they're in the past and they bring themselves into the future, into the present, sorry. They're in the past, they're in the past. So when we have this constant connection only to the past, only, which is just to say only to the mind, constant in stream of constant thoughts, then we're at the mercy of the past. But we build the space of the present within us, direct experience. Important, direct experience. You need to focus on it for time, for hours, an hour in the morning, or 40 minutes at least, 30, 40 minutes at least, and then the same in the evening. This, but I would say an hour, morning and evening, and it's not too much time. Once you get used to it, it almost seems like too little in a way, because of how important it is. And over time, you will be more and more motivated toward this aim, because you will see the truth, the importance of it. It's just so true. It's so true. It's so true. It's the only thing that will liberate you. Drugs, psychedelic drugs, they will take you into the moment intensely. They will liberate you temporarily. This moment, this meditation is what will do it permanently. So yeah, we want to be liberated all the time, not just in the midst of our temporary hits of pleasure from addictions. But it's up to you, and you got to do the work. So I'll leave you with that. Peace.